Thank you for joining me today. For the next few minutes, I want to continue a short series of messages we're doing about how to minister to the people you love that don't know Jesus. People that you love that maybe they're mad at God, they're mad at the church, they're not serving the Lord, they're not connected to the vine. You know, recently here in Central Virginia, we had some really bad storms, and one of the things that happened is some trees were really whipped around with the wind, and some of the branches were broken. And one of the things that happens when those branches break is they immediately start to die. They immediately start turning brown. You can tell it's over. Well, you know, there are a lot of people who just aren't connected to Jesus. And when you look at their lives, you know, it just looks kind of dead. Things aren't working. So these kind of people we need to reach. Maybe they're family members. Maybe they're really dear friends. Maybe they're people we work with, neighbors. I don't know, but it's really important that we get serious about this, because you can't really read the Bible and not know that Jesus is coming soon. I know that many of us have heard this all our lives, but there's more evidence now than ever. We are on the verge of the return of Jesus. It's really, really important that if we're going to witness, if we're going to lead people to the Lord, that we do it now. So last week I talked about one of the great keys for doing this is that we would first live the life ourselves. We can't be a hypocrite and be also an effective witness. You can't be both. And so today I want to talk about something else that's very important. This is from the teachings of Jesus in Matthew chapter 9 and verses 37 and 38. It says, "Then he said to his disciples, 'The harvest truly is plentiful, but the laborers are few. Therefore, pray the Lord of the harvest to send out laborers into his harvest.'" So one of the keys in praying for people that aren't right with God is to pray that God would send laborers across their pathway. There's someone, or perhaps more than someone, that they will listen to. And if you're really close to them, you're probably not one of those people. That's really frustrating. You still need to live the life, and you still need to manifest the joy of the Lord, and you still need to keep your commitment and your excitement about the things of God. But maybe you don't need to be the preacher for them. But there's somebody, and that's why Jesus said to pray. Pray that laborers would come. So that's one of the ways we pray for an unsaved loved one, is that, Lord, please send laborers or somebody across their pathway that will get their attention, that can give them the gospel, that can shine a light into their life. And so we just need to pray that simple prayer and then trust God. Trust God that they will see or hear someone that will touch them. It might be through media, it might be through television, radio, it could be online, or it could be someone at their work. I mean, I don't know. We just don't know who that may be, but God has people that can speak into their lives in such a way that they can be affected. And then we have to be rejoicing that somebody could reach them. Don't have that "I told you so" attitude and "I wish you would have listened to me sooner." You know, really that stuff never works anyway. Just don't fuss and don't complain and just trust God. Now, if we pray in faith, that means we're believing God's going to do it, which means we can't pray this prayer effectively and then in the next breath, we're on the phone or we're texting somebody and saying, you know, I don't know, they just aren't hearing, they're not listening. No, we've got to keep our faith all in one direction if it's going to work. So if you're praying for the Lord to send laborers, then that's your confession. You might say, well, you know, you don't know what they're doing. You don't know what they're saying. You don't know what they do with their time. Well, that's subject to change. And one of the great keys is somebody coming into their life that can speak the word to them. Believe God for that someone to come.